Let's begin on a solemn note. Sir Mark Tully, the renowned former BBC New Delhi bureau chief, has passed away. The veteran journalist known for his in-depth, nuanced reporting on South Asian affairs and his deep, affectionate understanding of Indian culture has passed away at the age of 90. He was born in Calcutta and was considered an old friend of India. His reports often highlighting the need for a balanced approach to development, tradition and social justice. My colleague Rishabh is joining us on the broadcast with the details. Well, Rishabh, at a time when BBC was seen with a lot of credibility, Mark Tully was one journalist whose reports from India was well and truly watched across the country and the world.
Of broadcast journalism, he was an institution in himself, and a journalist who was a towering figure in South Asian media, and he has passed away shortly, short while ago. What we're given to understand that he was 90-year-old and he was in a hospital in New Delhi. Remember, he was born in Kolkata and has reported excessively in India, Pakistan and South Asian region. Someone who has seen the court case, for that matter, of Bhutto in Pakistan, which ended up in him being hanged, or for that matter, the assassination of Indira Gandhi, the former Prime Minister of India. Someone who has reported on Bangladesh war, someone who has reported on almost every aspect of the South Asian development, from the emergency to assassination of Indira Gandhi to 1971 war, or for that matter, after that, the whole court case of Bhutto in Pakistan, or for that matter, the way Bangladesh turned into a country from being a part of Pakistan as East Pakistan, then an independent country as Bangladesh. Someone who was regarded as one of those who has seen South Asia unfolding in last, almost 50 to 60 years.
Yes,
what we're given to understand, till 2009 he was with BBC, and then he started his independent journalism. One would have recognized a lot of reportage that has come in from him, the interviews that he did with who's and who in the region, and now at the age of 90 he has passed away in New Delhi.
Okay, all right, stay with us, Rishabh, and Isha is also on the broadcast with us. At a time when radio was the main medium to reach the masses, his voice was remarkable. It was one that stayed with people, and it was also a voice that was known to be one with a lot of credibility, and then to be a journalist with the BBC. He also went on to, Isha, write multiple books. He was known for his greater understanding of the way things in South Asia, India in particular, worked.
Right, Patma, absolutely. In fact, like Rishabh was also pointing out, he set up broadcast journalism from the absolute basics and set it up to the stalwart that it is now. In fact, he was a towering figure in South Asian media as well, and he has passed away in a hospital in New Delhi. He is also a celebrated author and a journalist who has completely defined emphatic reporting. In fact, his demise indeed marks the end of a golden chapter when we speak for the BBC as well, and for generations across India, Pakistan, the widened South Asian region. Mark Tully's reportage has been path-breaking, and his voice, he was calm, authoritative, and deeply insightful in his reportage, and he is widely regarded as well. And through the decades of covering the subcontinent, he definitely shaped public understanding of politics, society, and people with exceptional balance and honesty. In fact, BBC Hindi has put out a confirmation of his demise in 2017 as well. He was admitted to Max, where he was critically ill, and now we have gotten a confirmation on his death.
Okay, all right. Thank you for joining us with those details. Senior journalist Radhika also on the broadcast with us. Since Radhika, as my colleagues were also pointing out, he was known as a trusted voice on the radio at a time when radio was a medium to reach the masses. He covered some major events, from the emergency, the Bhopal gas tragedy, to the Babri Masjid demolition.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember him for his Operation Blue Star coverage. I was in Bombay. Obviously, there was no way I could have reached Punjab or Amritsar, but the kind of coverage Mark Tully gave us, you almost felt that the events were playing out right there before you. And this was on radio. It wasn't even TV. There was no visual or video or anything like that. I mean, such graphic descriptions with perspective. I mean, it was almost an impossible thing to do, but he pulled it off. I mean, it was remarkable. You also mentioned the Bhopal gas tragedy. Well, that was one incident, one event I also covered. And Mr. Tully was all over because most of the victims who were affected were in the slums of Bhopal. And hello?
Yes, Ms. Radhika.
Yeah. And he was there everywhere. I mean, that was leather boot journalism at its best, you know. Then when the Ayodhya demolition happened, he was there. And in fact, I mean, non-Indian Western journalists had a tough time then because they were sort of being chased out and attacked over there. But he took it all in his stride and he stayed. He was not fazed or anything by those attacks. He stayed, he covered the incidents right up to the last. And, you know, he was like, he was a boon for a very big population. I mean, you know, Tully Saab, Ma Tully. I mean, that's how he was known in UP. You know, wherever I went during an election or something to cover an election in UP, even in a village, people would say, Ma Tully Saab abhi aaye the, humse baat karke gaye.
Okay.
So that was the kind of dedication and footwork, importantly footwork that he put in. I mean, there was no question of sitting in at home or in a studio or whatever and relaying the news. It was news as it happened, and he brought it to.
Okay, all right, as it should be. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast. In fact, we have a lot of tributes coming in as well, many also remembering the kind of work that he leaves behind. Pawan Khera taking to social media to say, many like me grew up listening to his voice, reading his books. I ended up living in the very locality in which he lived for years and fell in love with. Travel well, Padma Shri Sir Mark Tully, RIP. This is what Pawan Khera has gone on to say, this among many other tributes that are continuing to come in. Well, with that, we shift our